Hi guys, welcome to another video. I have a wonderful luxury bag collection. I know how lucky I am. I have Hermes, I have Dior, I have Louis Vuitton, I have Chanel, I have Fendi and many others. So I decided I wanted to share my love of these things with you guys. So how do I go about it? What have I found when I have been sharing these things? What is the best and worst things about luxury handbags and sharing them on the internet? Let's get going. I have experienced many things since starting my YouTube channel, and there are things that I knew would happen and there are things that I never expected in a million years to happen. So I thought I'm going to run through with you some of the best and some of the worst things that have happened or that could happen, generally have happened. And I want to just share this because this is a channel about just sharing our love of whatever it is. If luxury handbags are not your thing, or luxury in general, if it's not your thing, then don't watch. But people do. So let's go to the very first and the very obvious first thing that I knew would happen if I shared my love of handbags on YouTube, and it did happen and it will continue to happen, and here's why I'm sort of okay with it. So it is judgment. That is one of the worst things, but it's also one of the inevitable things. There is always judgment when anybody shows anything of any value. There seems to be a real thing about luxury in general. If somebody spends a lot of money on other things, it doesn't seem to be an issue. If somebody shows their house renovation and they show that they're, I don't know, building a house or doing something and it's costing a lot of money, maybe restoring an old car, or there's a million things it could be, people tend to not judge that so much. They might come along and judge somebody's taste in something, or I wouldn't do it that way, or whatever else, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of judgment about spending money on certain things. Yet you say that I've spent X amount of money on a bag, and some people, and it is some people, go absolutely crazy about it. My view is, if this is not for you, don't watch. Why are you watching me if you don't like, knock that over, if you don't like luxury bags and you think it's ridiculous to spend money on a luxury bag, then I completely get that, and that is absolutely your right to think whatever you want. You can have your opinion, but why are you watching me? Do you watch me because you want to judge me, or I don't understand it? But anyway, judgment is definitely there. I have been called many things, whether it's frivolous, whether it's ridiculous, whether it's out of touch, tone deaf, all of those things. And yes, I could be very upset about those things, and I could do a whole video on why I don't think I am any of those things, but that's not what I'm talking about today. What I'm talking about is just the things that does happen when you put yourself out there. So I knew I would get some judgment based on either my opinions or whether I show something, whether I reveal the price of something, and I also get judgment on how I present myself, what I look like, my age, my taste in things, my physicality. I have had it all. And some of it is unexpected, some of it is completely expected. So how do I deal with it? Well, I look at it this way, that I put myself out there on the internet, and because I put myself out there, I expect that there will be some comments coming back. I have a comment section that is open, and I have never once, no, that's not true, I have once deleted a comment because it was very offensive. Other than that, I don't block people. I let people say what they want to say, and I will either ignore it or move on from it, or sometimes I do respond. But I want this to be a place that we can discuss things and we can talk about things. And yes, I might not agree with you and you might not agree with me, but as long as everybody stays respectful, then it's fine. But it does go further than that. So yeah, judgment on all aspects of all different things is inevitable. So I just have to suck that up and know that if I'm on the internet, yes, it's not right that people feel they can do that, no matter what. Nobody should do that. Nobody should be disrespectful. However, some people's version of being respectful isn't the same as somebody else's. So when I've pointed out to somebody, why do you feel the need to be disrespectful? They say, I'm not being disrespectful, I'm just telling you the truth. So you can't argue with it because it's you will never agree. So I just know I've got to, I suppose, put up with a fair amount of it. And it will get to the stage, I am sure, where I will have to block people, and that is a shame. But so far, so good, we say. The second thing that I think is one of the worst things about YouTube is being misunderstood. That I do more long form content on YouTube rather than short form content, say on TikTok or on YouTube Shorts or on Instagram Reels. And I do long form content because I prefer it. I prefer this sort of format. I think I can give a lot more information, and I'm a talker, I'm a waffler, so I can't fit something into a minute when I can take 10 minutes to say the same thing. That is just me. So I prefer long form, but you can get yourself into trouble even in long form videos, but particularly in short form. I got myself into a lot of hot water. I've done a whole video on it. My TikTok video went absolutely viral. I think it's, at the moment, it's about 1.4 million. It's just, and not for a good reason. And I was misconstrued, misunderstood, but I take full responsibility for it. I do, because when I watch it back in the cold light of day, if you don't know what I'm talking about, have a look at this video. But it was about the Walmart Birkin, and I was trying to say in the TikTok video that I was responding to a few videos that I had seen across all different social media platforms that people were saying Birkins and the Walmart Birkin were made in the same factory, and one just had a label on it and one didn't, but they were the same quality, the same thing, made in the same place. And I was sort of saying, well, that's not true. That they're not. One's probably in a sweatshop, and one's in a, I suppose, in more of a workshop atelier. Anyway, it came out completely wrong. And yeah, so I do say be careful what you wish for, because I would have always said one of my goals would be to get a viral video. If you're putting yourself on YouTube, do we not want views? Do we not want to have a viral video? Well, no, we don't, because a viral video means one of two things. You're very, very funny, particularly on TikTok. You're very funny, or you're controversial. They're pretty much the only things that go viral. And yeah, mine was sort of neither of those, but it ended up being in the controversial one. And I didn't mean it to be, because I wasn't trying to be controversial. I was just entering into a conversation. Anyway, what I'm saying is that I now have goals where I don't wish for a viral anything, because it usually means trouble. It does. So again, be careful what you wish for, but it is one of the worst things that you genuinely put content out there that you believe in and that you want to stand by, but it can come across and somebody can take it the wrong way. As I say, particularly in short form, it can be taken the wrong way. Something can get misconstrued, or they misunderstand you. And because you guys only see what I show you on YouTube, you don't really know me. I know everybody thinks that we've got this great community, and we'll come on to that, and we do. I just talk about bags and all of these things. I don't share a lot of things that are in my actual world, and there's so much more to me than bags, and I've said this so many times, but you guys don't see that. So people can make a judgment and can misconstrue something and think a certain thing of you because of that. And that is one of the worst things, that sometimes I think, oh no, they've misunderstood, it wasn't, and trying to explain it makes it all worse sometimes. So yeah, it's hard to make sure that you get your personality across, but then without sharing too much, if that makes any sense. With regard to the content itself, one of the worst things about YouTube for me is being able to come up with ideas constantly. I have committed to myself to do 3 videos every single week, and I don't think I've missed a week yet in 2.5 years. I think I might have missed an odd video here and there, but in essence I've done at least 2 videos or 3 every single week since I started my channel, and I have put that pressure on myself in order to have some accountability, to have some structure, some routine in my world. Ever since I walked away from my career, I need something that's structured and a reason to focus, a reason to get up every morning, and this has become my structure. So I've put that pressure on myself, but that means that I have to come up with 3 different ideas every single week and not be too repetitive or too boring, or yeah, it's very, very difficult. But ideas do come and things do sort of flow, and then you have a period of time where you think, oh, I don't want to put content out that just isn't any good. So there are times where you're thinking, oh, this is just difficult, and then, you know, it comes through as if it's not that natural. So I think that is one of the worst things for me, is just being able to constantly think of new ideas. But I do my best. I love the whole, and we'll come on to this, I love doing YouTube and I love filming. I love all the editing and everything that goes with it. So I want to be able to think of things because I'm excited to get on with it. It's not a chore. It hasn't become a bind. It's just sometimes I'm a little bit stuck for ideas. So if anyone has any ideas of things that you would like to see, put them in the comments below because it'll massively help me. So let's go on to some of the amazing things about having a luxury YouTube channel. Well, the main one, when I was planning this video, the first thing I thought was, right, just write down the best thing about it. What is number one? And the first thing that came to my head was community, and it was building a community of you guys out there. When I started my channel, I did not have even the slightest, honestly, idea that I would even be doing this 2.5 years later. I honestly started it because I just wanted to do it. I wanted to give it a go. And I wanted to challenge myself. It was a sort of therapy outlet type of thing. And I thought nobody would watch. Honestly, I think all of us are the same. None of us go into this going, oh, well, I'm going to make a really great go at this. You just have a go, and you see, you cannot control so much of it because of how YouTube works and the algorithm, and even understanding the algorithm is an absolute minefield. So none of us even think that anyone's going to watch. So the fact that even my first video, I think I got something like 1,500 views, and I just could not believe it. I just thought, this is insane. And then for all the videos after that, I probably got 200 views or 87 views or something. It didn't matter. I wasn't doing it for that. So the fact that for me it started off, I didn't start YouTube to build a community. Because I never thought I would be able to. It's not that I didn't want to, it just never entered my head that that would be possible. My reason for starting was for my own mental health, for my own therapy, for a challenge, for all those things I've said before, and also to find like-minded people, because there was nobody as crazy as me about these things in my world apart from via YouTube. So I was just trying to find an outlet and like-minded people and that type of thing, and that's where it started. And once I started to build some momentum, and some of you guys, and we started to build a community, and we've done it together, I've realised that actually it is possible. It is possible to have a channel and to build a community of people who are really interested in the same things as me. I have made some amazing friends through starting this channel, and these are friends that are not just like-minded handbag enthusiasts. These are real everyday friends that we can talk about all sorts of other things, because yeah, there's more to us than handbags. And that has been incredible. So for me, it's the friendships, the connections, the community, and just getting messages from people that say, I really look forward to your videos, or I've really enjoyed watching that. And I just think, wow, it's so nice just to make somebody's day, isn't it? It's a lovely feeling. So I hang on to that, and that keeps me going, because many of you will comment and say, oh, I've watched this while I'm doing my ironing, and I just can picture somebody going about their day, having me on in the background. It's amazing. I've watched so much YouTube for ages, and that's what I do, and I love it. I love it. So that is the best thing about YouTube for me. The other things that have been amazing about YouTube is I have learned so much, so much about so many skills. I've learned so many new skills about filming, lighting, editing, just creation, just content creating, coming up with ideas, coming up with titles and thumbnails, and analysing analytics and trying to understand it. And there's so much to YouTube, there really is, and you can go down a real rabbit hole with it, which I do, because I'm a bit of a geek like that. I like to analyse things, as I'm an accountant and my brain is just wired that way. So yeah, I'm very grateful that I'm learning all the time, and it's something that's ever changing, and I'm learning how to do more things in the graphic side of things and the editing, and just trying to make it more professional. I'm learning about filming, I'm learning about obviously lighting, and just, there's so much to it, there's so much. I'm trying to learn not to waffle too much, so I don't have as much editing to do, but plainly in this one we've gone completely wrong, haven't we? We really have. So we've talked about community and friendships and connections and all of those sort of things, and I hope that I bring you guys a little bit of entertainment and maybe a little bit of information, because that's a really great thing for me when I hear that not only have you enjoyed watching something, but actually the information that I have given it's been useful. And also you guys share so much with me. I had a lady who's absolutely gorgeous, and she sent me some photos of her trying on the new Capucines in the supple leather, and I haven't seen that bag. I've seen the GM. I didn't know they were bringing out an and so you guys share so much, so thank you to that gorgeous subby. But yeah, you guys share a lot of information with me, so we all get to find things out, and I just think that part of community as well as information is just brilliant. It also gives me an outlet. Now, much as I say that I can be misconstrued, and I can, and misunderstood, on the flip side of it, this gives me an outlet to not only challenge myself to have a go at doing this, but also that I can share my view, and nobody can, much as something can be misconstrued, if I'm clear and I do it more in a long form content like this, hopefully I can be very clear what my view is, and I'm allowed to say that. And I think that having your own outlet for your own view and own perspective is really, really healthy. And yeah, I think, yeah, I love it. I love it. So overall, there are some bad things with YouTube. There's the fact that sometimes you don't feel safe about sharing where you're located or all those things, just for safety reasons. So there is a little bit of that. There's obviously the judgment and the insults and being misconstrued and everything. But in general, I love it. I absolutely love it. I am so grateful to you guys. I have an amazing collection. I get to share it. I get to sit here and talk to you guys about it. And it's become my job, and it's just amazing. So anyway, enough rambling. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on another one.